April has turned rather cold across the northern plains, and it's a relatively cool, although volatilely active pattern in the middle of the country. I'll show you what I mean. But there is a fair amount of cold temperature, and it looks persistent. In other words, April is not likely in the northern plains and upper Midwest Great Lakes region going to be bringing a lot of early spring weather this year. And with the cold temperatures, we've seen some. There likely will be more late season snows. The pattern is also extremely active regarding severe weather and tornadoes. Those are occurring in the mid-south and the southeast, and generally producing more severe weather and not a lot of torrential rainfall except in isolated areas. So it's not a particularly wet U.S. weather pattern right now. Jet stream, quite a lot of amplitude to it, and that's resulting in a lot of the storms. Also, we've tapped into some colder weather once again. It's not quite the same shape pattern that we were seeing back during the core of the winter season when we had a great deal of cold weather dropping into the northern plains, Great Lakes, and eastern U.S., at least eventually. A lot of the southeast was cool. Now we're seeing surges of warmth coming up into the mid-south, and with these waves passing through, these are producing severe weather, and this will likely mean another one coming out this week. Meanwhile, potential of another weather system bringing snow into some part of the upper Midwest Great Plains. I'm not about to try and track where that one's going to go at a week in advance, but there will likely be some kind of snowstorm, and that snowstorm will bring down some very cold, as in sub-freezing or near-freezing high temperature weather into much of the northern plains for a fair amount of next week. Meanwhile, the deep south will be getting its warm days and its cool days. Texas usually is one of the earliest places to warm up. In Arizona, there'll be plenty of warm weather there. In the second week, I think the cold will retreat a little bit, but it will still remain generally cooler than average for the most part across the northern part of the United States. There will be surges of pretty nice warm spring weather coming up out of the Gulf and into the south. As far as precipitation goes, somewhere between, say, southern Canada and the upper Midwest. I am not trying to say this is exactly where this storm will track. I wouldn't dare do that. There will be a storm system coming out of the southwest that will have the potential to drop some significant rain and snow, and there will be likely a round of severe thunderstorms somewhere in the mid-south. Pacific Northwest will get a little rain and some mountain snow this week. The southwest is still waiting on its first legitimate chance of rain this week. I think the dry southwest weather will likely expand in the second week of the forecast here, and although the weather will be remaining fairly cool in the northern plains, it's looking fairly dry. Southeastern states will get some stormy weather, maybe one snow system for the New England, southern and southeastern Canada part. Otherwise, not a great deal of precipitation of a heavy variety across the country.